Hey gang, pull up a chair. So while I was curious 10 years ago, after the initial pain and blow of losing my late husband, I began to get curious. I can't say I began digging into how to connect with him because I just didn't even think about that. But I got curious. I started reading books. I started being aware. My first approach of understanding that Pietro was still around was following Abraham Hicks. And I listened to everything that she had available that was related to communication to those beyond. Every single night I would lay in bed listening to her 10-minute clip about how to connect, or not even how to, but what to be aware of. Like people would say, you know, it's funny, I'm finding 1943 pennies everywhere. And that was the year my mom was born. Like I was hearing that kind of stuff. And I just kept listening, and every single night I put my arms in the air because I wanted to feel Pietro. And I would just say, I am open to receiving the abundance of health, wealth, happiness, love, and protection with ease. Because more than anything, I wanted to feel ease. My heart was so heavy and my grief was so strong. It was hard to breathe. And I wanted to live my life with ease. I didn't want to feel that. But I also understood you can't heal what you can't feel. So it was important to go through the grieving process. Whatever that is for you, it's important to do it. And as I got healthier and I started to then think about maybe going out to date and so forth, I could sense Pietro's support. So, okay, I could sense his support. What does that mean? Maybe nothing to you, maybe everything to you. So it really, as I moved through the journey of connecting with him in ways that made sense to me and healing in ways that made sense to me, I was open to understanding that he got everything he wanted. I'm going to tell you right now, when I met Pietro, he was 60. I was 48. And he told me in his very Italian accent, I'll be happy if I make it to 70. And I thought, 70? Like, what's wrong with 80 or 90? Like, you know, he told me he didn't want anybody to see him sick, and he didn't want any pain. Do you understand? These are the things he claimed for himself. And do you know, he passed away almost 3 weeks or 2 weeks after his 70th birthday. Nobody saw him sick. And he ended up dying ultimately of a heart attack and a stroke simultaneously. So he never felt a thing. So I say, he took off to heaven with hope in his heart. How cool is that? So this began the journey of understanding that Pietro was always by my side. I'm going to tell you another story in another video, so pull up a chair.